10 Down WJ presents Sex and the Church, an Overdue Conversation. In the modern world, dialogues surrounding sex remain fraught with tension, especially within religious communities. The Church often perpetuates silence on topics related to sexuality, leading to confusion and guilt in individuals who seek guidance. Journey with me as we address the complexities of sexual discourse in religious settings, the implications of the guilt associated with sexuality, and the necessary shift towards a more honest and constructive conversation about sexual health and morality. Key points include the necessity of recognizing sex as a natural aspect of human existence, the impact of religious teachings on sexual guilt, and potential paths towards healthier conversations about sexuality. 1. Sex as a natural creation. To understand the relationship between sex and religion, it is crucial to acknowledge sex as a component of human identity. Sex is not inherently evil but is rather a good and purposeful part of creation. Many religious doctrines preach sexual morality, which is often rooted in historical interpretations of sacred texts. In Christianity, for instance, foundational texts, such as the Book of Genesis, assert that God created man and woman as sexual beings. In this view, sexuality is good, intended for procreation, and should be celebrated rather than shunned. Despite this positive framing of sex in creation narratives, religious teachings often become convoluted. Many institutions emphasize abstinence until marriage and associate sexual exploration with moral failings. For years, church doctrine painted sex as shameful outside of procreative intentions, leading to the belief that any act outside of these norms is sinful. This perspective on sexuality engenders guilt and misinterpretation among individuals seeking spiritual guidance, often resulting in harmful psychological effects. 2. The guilt problem. The ramifications of a lack of open dialogue about sex can deeply affect individuals emotionally and psychologically. As noted, those who suffer from sexual guilt may seek guidance from mental health professionals who, in turn, may highlight the role of religious teachings in cultivating these feelings. If one attends church consistently and continues to harbor guilt surrounding sex, it begs the question of whether the problematic belief systems in these churches contribute to emotional distress. This situation invites a critical examination of religious teachings regarding sexuality. A person grappling with guilt around sexual expression might hear from a psychiatrist that abandoning their religious beliefs could alleviate their internal struggles. While not all professionals will advocate for this extreme measure, the underlying assertion that religion can perpetuate guilt is significant. If religious institutions cannot provide a nurturing and compassionate approach to sexuality, individuals may need to reconsider their spiritual affiliations. 3. Addressing shame and inconsistency. The inconsistency seen in how religion addresses sexuality often leads to shame. Churches may adopt a prudish stance, disapproving of discussions around sex. This aversion cultivates an atmosphere where individuals do not feel safe to express their sexual feelings or curiosities. It is essential for faith communities to honestly discuss sex, moving past the shame that surrounds it, in order to foster healthy attitudes towards one of life's most significant aspects. Culturally, many people associate conversations about sex with taboo subjects. This link can lead to deep-seated feelings of shame that stifle sexual expression. Open dialogue surrounding sex is sorely needed within church communities. Acknowledging the struggle many feel around sexual guilt and creating safe spaces for discussion may help dismantle some of the misinformation surrounding sexual health and morality. 4. Sexuality and spiritual leadership. Prominent theological figures and scholars have contributed to complicating the discourse on sex within religious circles. For example, figures like John Stott have challenged traditional understandings of sexuality. His advocacy for a comprehensive understanding of human sexuality, inclusive of various orientations, poses questions on how churches can better embrace modern understandings of sex and identity. Influential individuals, including progressive religious leaders, have emphasized the importance of embracing human sexuality openly rather than shaming it. Recent years have seen shifts in perspective among some religious communities, indicating a growing awareness of the need to engage in honest conversations about sex. Several denominations are beginning to adopt more inclusive attitudes toward LGBTQ+ individuals, as well as toward those exploring their sexuality outside traditional norms. This marks a hopeful change within religious contexts, signifying a move toward acceptance and understanding rather than condemnation. 5. The role of mental health. Mental health professionals play an essential role in bridging the gap between religious teachings and healthy sexuality. Psychologists and therapists can provide supportive environments where individuals discuss their feelings about sex free from judgment. Mental health practitioners aware of the complexities surrounding religion and sexuality can help clients disentangle their beliefs from guilt, promoting healthier attitudes toward sexual expression. Programs focusing on sexual health education in conjunction with spiritual guidance can foster personal growth. Through collaborative efforts, mental health services can offer critical support to help individuals navigate conflicts between their religious upbringing and their sexual identities. It is vital to provide resources that affirm sexual well-being as an integral aspect of overall wellness. 6. Cultural shifts and future developments. As societal values continue to evolve around issues of sexuality, it is essential for religious institutions to reconsider their approaches. Changes in laws regarding LGBTQ+ rights, recognition of diverse family structures, and increasing conversations about sexual health can challenge religious communities to adapt their dialogues surrounding sex. By embracing these cultural shifts, church communities may foster an environment where honesty prevails over shame, creating opportunities for healing and personal growth. Education plays a crucial role in this transformation. Incorporating comprehensive sexual education into church activities can help demystify sexuality. Providing workshops that include discussions on consent, healthy relationships, and the importance of sexual well-being are steps toward a more mature understanding of human sexuality. Faith-based organizations can actively contribute to reshaping perceptions of sex as an integral part of spiritual growth and a natural expression of humanity. 7. Moving forward. To confront the silence surrounding sex within religious circles, churches must cultivate an ethos of acceptance and understanding. Accepting that sexual feelings are normal and discussing them openly will reduce the guilt that often comes from religious teachings. Instead of demonizing behaviors, churches can present a framework where individuals explore their sexuality alongside their faith in a supportive manner. Future possibilities for dialogue could include interfaith panels or community events focused on sexual wellness. By encouraging collaboration among various religious perspectives, churches can learn from each other, adapting successful strategies to promote more harmonious discussions about sex. Building relationships based on mutual respect will enable members to explore human sexuality as a gift rather than a source of shame. Now, here's the truth of the matter: sex is not evil. It's good. We have to clear that misunderstanding. God created man and woman sexual beings. And after he checked on everything he created, he said it was all very good, including sex. One of the big problems in church is we just are not honest about sex. We're ashamed about it, we're prudish, and we encourage problems by that attitude. I would say every form of compulsive sex aberration is demonic. Without exception. Masturbation, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, effeminacy, and all sorts of horrid perversions that we won't talk about. I would say every one of those is demonic. Now you don't have to feel ashamed, but you do need to resolve your problem. And in this light, it starts with repentance. In conclusion, the conversation about sex within the church is long overdue. An exploration of the historical context, the imprudent attitudes surrounding sex, and the guilt fostered in many religious settings must pave the way for healthier discussions. By emphasizing sex's natural place in human life and its inherent goodness, religious communities can foster a healthier dialogue that supports their congregants. Future developments hinge upon an enlightened perspective that champions open conversations around sexuality, normalizes sexual exploration, and ultimately promotes a healthier moral framework within which individuals can thrive. Please remember, there is a right and wrong to this matter, and it's not about your right may not be someone else's right, so let's not be foolish and vain to say that wrong is right and evil is good. 10 down WJ, where creativity meets impact.